BC, during the time of King Ramses II, a family is having dinner at their home near Thebes.
This is a calm and peaceful period of Egypt's 3,000-year empire.
Why do we have to live outside of the gates of the city? The other kids treat us like we're weird.
They're just mean to us because Papa takes care of the dad.
It sounds like you're ashamed of what I do.
How dare you speak to your father that way, children? He has a very important job in the beautiful house. What could be more valuable than a priest who helps the dead gain immortal life? What if he didn't have a job? You'd be living in a hut, eating boiled papyrus roots every day.
I'm sorry, Papa.
Don't forget, when you're a little older, you'll be my apprentice. Then you'll learn to help the dead too.
I have an idea. Why don't you take the children to work with you tomorrow?
Take them to work? I'm not sure that's a very
The
good...
children might learn something useful when, especially since they don't appreciate the work you do.
I'm not sure that's the best idea.
Nonsense.
But Zen, I'm not sure Ty's ready to see what I do yet.
They'll be fine, and so will Kaya.
Alright, my bullet boy. Tomorrow I'll take you kids with me.
And you better behave yourselves.
Next morning, the sun is shining bright into the family's mud brick home, as it does almost every day. Before breakfast, Ty and Kenya are playing a board game called Sonnet. A small monkey is perched on Ty's shoulder.
Children, did you feed the sacred crocodile? Yes, Mother.
Yes, Mother.
Then eat your bridal mates. It's easy for you kids to get dressed. All you have to put on are your earrings. Your papa has to put on his linen to enjoy it and then make up his eyes.
Can the monkey come with us?
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry about your cold, Mother.
Thank you, dear. I'll say an incantation to get rid of it. Depart cold, son of a cold. You who breaks the bones, destroys the cold, and makes 6 to 7 openings of the head. Ah, much better. Put away that game of Sunday and eat your breakfast.
Spending the day with the body. This is going to be so much fun.
Rinku, Kenya, and Ty are crossing to the western bank of the Nile in a boat made of reeds. They see crocodiles floating like logs in the river. Big white and black birds called isbis flap overhead.
Here's the test, children. Which god is the head of Ibis?
Oh, I know, Tooth.
And who is Tooth?
He's the god of writing and astronomy and geometry and medicine.
And talking and writing and measures the earth and records all knowledge.
Excellent.
What is a beautiful house on the other side of the river, Papa?
Each day, the great sun god, Amun-Re, travels across the sky in his boat. He starts in the deserts of the east and passes over our holy water, the life-giving Nile. Then Amun-Re passes the black land, rich soil along the riverbanks brought to us by the yearly floods. Finally, he passes into the red land and western desert and appears until another day. We bury the dead in the west because that's where the sun sets.
Is that why we call the dead westerns?
That's right.
Why do we have to make mummies of the dead anyway?
Do you remember the story of what happened to the great god Horus?
Horus ruled the land of Egypt. He was good and wise ruler, right?
Very good, Kata. Do you know what happened next time?
Horus's evil brother Seth got a hold of him. Seth ripped Horus up and burned him into pieces in 14 different places.
The goddess Iris, Horus's wife and sister, found all the pieces. She put them back together and breathed life into him. Now Horus is the king of the underworld.
But that doesn't explain why we make mummies.
We hope to be restored, just as Horus was restored. But like Horus, our bodies have to be restored too. We used to bury the dead in the desert sands because the dry preserved their bodies for many generations. But they were often dug up and eaten by jackals. We have to find a way to take better care of the dead. Ty, please keep your hands in the boat. I don't want your fingers to get bitten off by a crocodile.
On the western side of the Nile, Wiku, Kenya, and Kanya reach a low series of buildings outside under an awning of the priests. Pimu and Tipaku are washing a body on the table.
What's that horrible smell, Papa?
Why are there so many flies buzzing around? After 3 minutes is what they know that the smell. Oh.
Ah, Piumu. This is my son, Tai, and my daughter, Kaya. These children are my fellow priests, Piumu and Temaputku.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the beautiful house.
Thank you.
We receive a body, we bring it to this area, which is called the place of purification. We wash the body with water from the Nile to make it clean and pure for the next stop. Follow me to the beautiful house.
Wanuku leads Tai and Kaya into the building. Bodies are laid out on tables. The priests, Worset and Patab and Senbi, are working on the bodies.
Papa, are those people on those tables dead?
Of course, son.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Don't be frightened, children. You'll get used to it. Just stand back and stay out of our way. Stay out of the way of the priests.
We'll stay way back. We promise.
What? Why is this place called a beautiful house anyway? It's so hot and stinky and so not beautiful.
Because we make the dead beautiful for eternity. You'll see.
Worset puts a hook up a dead man's nose.
What is that priest doing?
That's Worset. He's pulling out the brain, sweetheart. If he left the brain in, it would rot the body. The brain isn't that important. Some say it makes the arms and legs move, but as far as I'm concerned, all the brain does is create nasty, dripping mucus.
Wouldn't there be an empty hole in his head?
He's a man of noble birth. Worset will fill his head with reason.
Tuta pops out a dead woman's eyeballs with his thumbs.
Why is he taking out that old lady's eyes?
Paotep will replace them with pretty glass eyes. Now watch what happens when Sembi cuts open the stomach of that body. We call Sembi the Ripper.
As Sunbi makes the cut, Worset and Pata throw stones at him.
Run away! Depart! We command you to flee! Why did they do that?
Actually, I don't know why we do that. It's a ritual we perform as part of the coming in. It means the meaning has been lost in the sands of time.
Of course. No, Papa, why are they cutting that man open in the first place?
When we get a body, we must act quickly before the decaying process sets in. We must take out the organs that rot.
What do you do with them?
I don't think I want to hear this.
See the 4 jars over there? Those are our canocopic jars. We preserve the organs we take out: liver, kidneys, intestines, stomach, and lungs. And we put them into canocopic jars.
The heart is the only organ we preserve and put it back into the body.
Why?
The heart is a very important organ. It's the center of intelligence and the soul. Look at that lady on the table. It looks like she could still be alive.
Poor Hebony. She was far too young to die. They tried every kind of medicine to cure her. Lizard's blood, teeth of a pig, rotted meat, the brains of a tortoise, and an old scroll boiled in oil. Priests chanted for her and placed amulets around her neck, but amazingly, nothing worked.
She must have had an evil spell placed on her.
What are they doing to that man over there?
We pack Nartan around the body. Nartan is a special kind of salt that dries out the body.
It's so much work.
If we don't do it, how will the dead reunite with their bodies? When we die, all the different parts of us fly out. You know what the ba is?
It's the spirit that flies into a body like a bird in a cage when it's alive.
And you know what our ka is?
The spirit that looks and moves just like us, that is released after when we die.
And you know your shadow that follows you faithfully every day?
Yes, Papa.
Let me ask you then. What do you want to happen after you die? Do you want to live with Horus?
You must be reunited after death with your Ba and Ka, your shadow, and your body if you want eternal life.
And then it's not enough to be turned into a mummy.
Being dead isn't easy.
That's true. Before the dead can reach Orius, they must say spells and answer many trick questions to get past the demons who guard the gates on the way. To help the dead, we wrap them up with the Book of the Dead.
What's that?
It's like a handy test-taking guide that gives the dead many of the answers they'll need. If they pass these tests, they'll come to a river. Then the dead will have to pass more tests before the ferryman agrees to take them across to the heart of the underworld.
Do they get to live with Oris and Papa?
First, the dead must pass the biggest exam of all, the jackal-headed god, Anubis. Weighs their hearts against the feather of truth, which contains all the person's evil deeds. The dead must make a confession before Orius. They must confess all the bad things they didn't do, like,
I've not oppressed the poor. I have not caused a slave to treat by his master. I have not starved any man. I have not caused any to weep. I have not assisted any man.
Jacqueline.
I have not committed treason.
I am pure.
What if the dead person's hurt and fittest unbalanced?
Those who fail the test are thrown to the hungry, crocodile-like monsters that will keep devouring them forever. Those who pass can live with Orius forever. They spend their days eating, drinking, playing sonnet, and listening to beautiful flute music and having fun in the land much like Egypt.
No, that's more like it.
Papa, is that man over there dried enough to become a mummy?
Almost.
What happens when he's stunned?
The drying takes about 40 days. Then we put packing in the cheeks and arms to make them look fuller. We paint the women in yellow and the men red, and put hyenas on their heads and feet. Sometimes we put wings on the dead or replace missing arms and legs. That way we can go into the afterlife whole.
Then do you wrap them up?
Yes, we wrap the body with many shreds of fine linen to protect it for all eternity. Look over there. Do you see what Warstead is doing?
Warstead is wrapping thin strips of cloth around a dead man's hand.
First, Warstead wraps each finger and then the hand. Then he starts winding cloth around the head and around the rest of the body. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of cloth, more than 450 square yards of linen to do it properly. Next, we'll put the mummy in a coffin. The coffin will be placed in a tomb, which will have the person's name in magical paintings to please the gods. We'll place the canopic jars in the tomb and other things that bring persons comfort to death. Cups, chairs, foods, and shadows. Little figures of servants to help us in the next life.
I want to have plenty of figs in my tomb.
Last step before we bury the dead is the opening of the mouth. The priest touch the mouth of the mummy and say special prayers. Otherwise, the mummy wouldn't be able to eat, drink, breathe, or talk. Then we put the money inside a tomb and seal it.
I still don't understand why it's so important to keep the body if a person has already passed the test and is with Oris.
The fields of paradise are much like our earth. It's possible we could die again.
I used to think your job was sad, Papa, but now I'm not so sure.
We do our best to take care of the dead. They may miss their families on earth, as we miss them, but they're having a good time in the afterlife.
Papa, what happened when you die? Won't we never see you again?
I won't ever appear again on earth, but if I'm good, I'll reach the fields of paradise. Someday you'll join your mother and me, and we'll be together again.
I'm going to hold my head up proudly from now on, no matter what anyone says about Papa's job.
I will too, and I'll be proud to work at the beautiful house someday.
Yay! Everyone go out for a bow. Everyone. And up.
Yay!
And down.
What about?
Good job, guys.